If you've ever replayed a simple moment again and again in your mind, a short conversation, a glance, a pause that lasted half a second too long, and wondered why it won't let you go. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed how your mind doesn't do this when you feel safe? How it only happens when something inside you is quietly on edge? You walk away from the interaction, but your thoughts stay behind. You analyze your words, their tone, what you might have missed. And somewhere deep down, there's a feeling you can't name, just a sense that something mattered more than it should have. If that feels familiar, you're not broken. Your brain isn't overreacting. It's alert. And there's a reason for that. When you overthink small interactions, it's often because your mind has learned that tiny details can carry big consequences. At some point in your life, subtle shifts mattered. A change in someone's mood, a slight silence, a look that meant approval or rejection. Your nervous system remembers that. So now even ordinary moments can feel loaded. Your brain isn't obsessed with the interaction itself. It's scanning for meaning. It's asking, am I safe here? Am I accepted? Did I miss something important? This isn't weakness. It's adaptation. Sometimes what you're really responding to is an emotional imprint. Certain interactions awaken old emotional memories without you realizing it. Not memories you can clearly recall, but feelings your body remembers. The tone of someone's voice, the way they paused before responding, the energy they carried. It can mirror something from your past, a moment when you felt unseen, misunderstood, or deeply valued. Your mind circles the interaction because it feels unfinished, not because of what just happened, but because of what it reminds you of. There are also moments when overthinking is tied to unfinished emotional business. Not every connection ends cleanly. Not every feeling gets closure. Sometimes you move forward outwardly, but inwardly, something remains unresolved. A need to be understood, a desire to feel chosen, a question that was never answered. Small interactions can reopen those inner loops. Your mind returns to them, not to torture you, but to look for resolution it never received. Then there's the quieter layer most people don't talk about. Subconscious bonds. Humans are wired for connection, and some connections register below conscious awareness. You might not even want anything from the person you're thinking about. Yet, your system reacts. Your thoughts linger. That's because your subconscious noticed something familiar, or meaningful, or emotionally relevant. Your mind keeps replaying the moment because part of you sensed a bond, however small, and doesn't yet know what to do with it. At times, overthinking small interactions can feel almost intuitive, like your mind picked up on something unspoken. Humans communicate far more through energy, presence, and subtle cues than words. Your conscious mind may say it was nothing, but your deeper awareness felt a shift. Not necessarily something bad, just something real. And your thoughts return because your inner world is trying to interpret that signal without jumping to conclusions. There's also the role of projection. When unresolved feelings live inside you, your mind looks for places to put them. A brief interaction becomes a canvas. You replay it, adjust it, reimagine it, because it's carrying more than the moment itself. It's holding your own doubts, hopes, fears, or longings. You're not overthinking them. You're listening to parts of yourself that haven't had space to speak. Often, this creates a quiet conflict between the heart and the mind. The mind wants certainty, clear answers, logical explanations. The heart responds to nuance, emotion, and meaning. When they're not aligned, the mind loops. It keeps replaying the interaction, hoping logic will settle what only emotional understanding can resolve. This tension doesn't mean you're confused. It means you're emotionally aware, even if you haven't learned how to translate that awareness yet. Over time, these patterns can also be signs of growth. When you become more emotionally conscious, you start noticing subtleties you once ignored. You reflect more. You question more. That sensitivity can feel overwhelming, especially if you were taught to suppress it. But it's also a sign that your inner world is becoming more refined. You're no longer numb, you're attentive. And attention, when guided gently, leads to wisdom. Some people experience this as a spiritual signal rather than a purely psychological one, not in a mystical sense, but in a deeply human way. Your inner self notices alignment and misalignment. It reacts to truth, even when it's subtle. Overthinking, in this light, isn't about control. It's about integration. Your mind is trying to bring different layers of awareness into harmony. Now here's the part that matters most. What does this say about you? It says you're perceptive. It says you care deeply about connection. It says your inner world is active, responsive, and alive. You're not shallow. You're not careless. You notice things others move past. And while that can be exhausting, it also means you have the capacity for deep understanding, empathy, and emotional maturity. The key isn't to silence your thoughts or force them away. It's to change how you relate to them. Instead of asking, "Why can't I stop thinking about this?" you can gently ask, "What part of me is asking for attention right now?" Sometimes it's reassurance. Sometimes it's rest. Sometimes it's permission to let go. Reflection, journaling, or quiet moments of honesty with yourself can help those thoughts soften on their own. Not because you pushed them out, but because you finally listened. Acceptance plays a powerful role here. Accepting that your mind is alert for a reason. Accepting that not every thought needs an answer. Accepting that emotional depth comes with waves, not straight lines. When you stop fighting the overthinking, it often loses its grip. Peace doesn't come from control. It comes from understanding. And here's the truth most people never tell you. Thinking deeply about small interactions doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're attuned. Your nervous system is sensitive, yes, but sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's a signal. One that, when understood, can guide you toward deeper self-awareness rather than self-judgment. So if your mind lingers on small moments, let that be a reminder. You are present, you are aware, and you are capable of growth that many people never reach because they never pause long enough to notice what you notice. If these reflections resonate with you, and you enjoy exploring the quieter layers of the mind and human behavior, you're always welcome here. You can subscribe to Dark Mode Psychology if you'd like to continue these late-night conversations about awareness, depth, and what it really means to be human.